Hello, in this video, we're gonna talk about the pollution of Sungai Semenyih in Sepang. Our group members are Haziq Nazirul, me, Wis Johari, Rion Brian Petrus, Mimi Nur Syahira, and Muhammad Irfan Naim.
Sungai Semenyih is located in Semenyih, Selangor, Malaysia. Sungai Semenyih is one of the sources in supplying the water for people in Selangor, especially people that live in Semenyih, Bandar Rincing, and Bandar Tasik Kesuma. Sungai Semenyih is one of the sources in supplying the water because Sungai Semenyih is the place where Semenyih Dam and Semenyih Water Treatment Plant were built to supply treated water, fulfilling demand for water supply to people. Due to this problem, many people who are affected express their unsatisfied feeling for the unscheduled water supply, since water is the most important needs for daily routines.
Yalah, kalau air ni punca utama. Elektrik tak ada pun tak apa. Air ni punca utama. Kalau keadaan ni berterusan, memang dia ada masalah pada kita lah semua. Kalau boleh perketatkan kawalan di setiap empangan atau di setiap tempat sediakan air tu, buat kawalan ketat. Kalau tidak, kalau tak ada kawalan ketat, masalah akan berulang lagi.
It's a bit frustrating lah. In 1 year we have this problem 5 to 6 times. I really can't understand what's happening. For us, we have to come all the way to Semenyih to take water. I have 2 sisters at home. One is Down syndrome, one is a stroke. So difficult, so life is so hard with this water. And then we want to buy water, so it's expensive in the shop. So hope lah, Syabas can hurry up and get back our supply.
The root cause of the incident of Sungai Semenyih pollution were most likely due to the contamination from livestock activity of Nilai industry area such as duck and goose cattle. The incident occurred due to the large cleaning activity in the duck and goose cattle, which lead the river polluted with organic substances such as animal carcasses. The pollution is also caused by the river irrigation from Sungai Batang Benar to Sungai Semenyih, because the polluted water was flowing from Sungai Batang Benar, which contaminated due to organic compound known as dimethyl disulfide. Sungai Semenyih pollution has become a problem because Sungai Semenyih is used for supplying water, especially for the consumer, which is affected due to other pollution in Sungai Semenyih. Because of the pollution, the Air Selangor forced to suspend the operation of water treatment at Sungai Semenyih. This enforcement led to water disruption in 4 districts such as Petaling, Hulu Langat, Kuala Langat, and Sepang, which involved several area and consumer due to the pollution. Even Air Selangor has activated its emergency response plan to provide assistance to citizens who affected by the incident. The citizens still suffer the most because they have to use water based on the water rationing, which is limited.
Pukul 6. So memang tak, dia stop tiba-tiba kan. So kita pun tak sempat nak simpan air dia. So air stop pun kejap tu datanglah 2-3 jam. Tapi tak tahu pula news ada nuklear ke apa benda tu. So kelang kabut lah sekarang. Lagi-lagi kalau ada budak kecil.
Perasaan setakat ni memang agak menyukarkan kami lah yang bukan yang sudah berkeluarga, bukan saja yang berkeluarga, malahan yang terlibat. Saya pun tak pasti, tapi perkara ni pihak kerajaan, khususnya kerajaan negeri Selangor, kena ambil sesuatu inisiatif bagaimana nak selesaikan masalah pencemaran di sungai-sungai di sekitar negeri Selangor ni.
Why current policy failed to solve? This is because glacier streams are the base by both point and non-point sources of contamination. The major point sources of contamination are sewage treatment plants, agribusiness industry, manufacturing industry, chillers, water commercial premises, and duck farms. In Sungai Semenyih, there is a manufacturing industry, whereas the policies cannot be doing rightly, as the small and middle-scale industries have challenges in complying with the list line. Imperative cited include financial issue and need of space for the development of wastewater treatment facilities. Because of that, this disposal of waste is simply run to the river without any cleaner production. In sewage treatment plant, which government require a private company to manage sewage work and disposal. According to the doubt, a private company has been tasked to manage sewage works and sewage disposal in the country since 1994, but currently it's only responsible for 86 out of 144 local authority areas. There are sources that don't come beneath the private company, such as private sewage treatment plant, person septic tank, sewage from primitive system, and release of great sewage from squatters. Then the problem in duck farming. What is duck farming? The duck farming is the point of the pollutant in the Sungai Semenyih. This is because duck farming is not as the best industry, but it also has the highest demand of water discharge into stream with a high chlorine content.
One of the suggestions by establishing better legal enforcement, Suhakam has called for effective implementation of law including stricter punishment. Water Service Industry Act 2006 and the Environmental Quality Act 1974 has not successfully implemented. Recent water pollution disrupted people access to water in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor area. Suhakam urged the government to fulfill its promise by effectively implementing current legislation. Another suggestion by Water Security. One of example of water security by building of riverside storage. It is essential to have more strict environmental laws and streamline compliance activities. Water protection is still crucial to ensure continuous water supply. River storage will be used as backup ponds and it may be used from the ponds in case of an emergency. Lastly, the suggestion by providing education and awareness to the public. Illegal dumping of waste has exposed Malaysia's waste management system flaws and vulnerabilities. Illegal dumping into rivers endanger our climate, safety and health. MPRA and MPMA had launched the Don't Be Little Bug and Use a Bin program that had advocated proper management of waste. We must continue our efforts to learn about the disposals of any forms of waste.
Imagine you wake up one day and go outside, seeing the river you live next to choked with trash and animal waste. While it's the 9th most visited country in the world, over half of the rivers in Malaysia are unsafe to swim in or drink, with around 10% classified as badly polluted. Rivers that flow through major cities like Kuala Lumpur and Georgetown carry waste as they flow. The rivers that go through heavily populated areas are little more than glorified trash bins. Litter, animal waste, and toxic chemicals clogging these waterways. Frequent rains and flooding carries refuse into the rivers from urban areas, industrial and domestic waste being caught in the water. With no access to waste disposal in rural communities, people resort to packing up trash and dumping it in the river instead of leaving it outside of their home, which attracts stray animals and insects. Toxic red mud flows from bauxite refineries and mining communities. These factories are difficult to regulate because often they're the only place for locals to get a job.
The lesson that we can learn from this issue is clean fresh water is a limited resources. Every person and animal on earth needs water to survive. Without it, many of us will get sick and even result in death. While almost 70% of the earth is made up of water, many parts of the world suffer from clean water shortage. Conserving water is important because it keeps water pure and clean while protecting the environment. We use water every day in our daily life. It is required in almost everything we do. We need water for drinking, bathing, cooking, washing, and other countless activities. Bottom line, we need water for activities and habits we use regularly. If we want to continue to keep our bodies healthy, clean, and everything else, we must conserve water. Now, I'm gonna show you what will happen if we did not taking care of our water resources. This river is located in West Java, Indonesia, named Citarum River. Now we will see a documentary about this Citarum River.
6 a.m. and I'm on the Citarum River with Herman and his son Alec.
You can barely see the river. It's just covered in plastic. There's all kinds of rubbish here, from shoes, nappies. It's all household rubbish. This is stuff that people have thrown in, and then every now and then you come across something like that. A dead fish just floating. Oh. What is it? When was the last time you actually caught some decent fish in this river?
Udah lama, Bu. Ini sekarang nggak dapat. Balik ya.
Nowadays, Herman and his 13-year-old son are after a different kind of catch. They're scavenging for rubbish.
What kind of plastic are you looking for?
Iya, rongsok doang, Bu. Iya. Karena ikan-ikan kecil itu lagi ngambang gitu.
This is said to be the world's most polluted river.
40 years ago, when Herman started fishing, it was easy to get a good catch. Since then, 60% of the fish species have been wiped out.
Would you rather catch fish or rubbish?
Kalau banyak suka ikan itu ada. Kalau banyak ikannya suka tempat ikan itu. Sampah mah kan jarang gitu lah.
Do you think the people who throw all this rubbish in here know what's actually going on further downriver?
Ya pasti tahu, pasti itu buang sampah ya biasa lah, Bu. Nggak punya itu, mereka buang seenaknya aja gitu. Lempar ke sungai gitu.
10 million people live on the Citarum. A study by the World Bank found almost all of these villages dump their rubbish by the river.
Ini masyarakat di sini buangnya ke sini gitu, Om. Sampahnya.
That huge pile there comes from his village. Most of them are fishermen, and they know what happens when the rubbish hits the river.
Much of it is plastic and won't degrade for decades. On stretches of this 200-mile-long river, the rubbish starves the water of oxygen.
And now, we will look at a news from the Star talking about the pollution in Sungai Semenyih. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you for your time.